creepy camera. There you are. All right, let's get back to the Judge Judy because it's 4:03 in the morning and I've been up for 3 hours and I got my hair done. I refilled my Vyvanse prescription. I tell you, not having Vyvanse. You know you lived your life without your ADHD medicine, so you're like, I don't need to take it today or whatever. I know a lot of people don't take it every day. I am not one of those people, though. I need it every day. It's like I anti-function when I don't take my medication. So anyway, I was so excited to get my medication yesterday that I took Vyvanse at like 8:30 at night. But then, like, I guess it hadn't really, like, super kicked in yet because I got tired at 10. And so I went to bed at 10 p.m. because I was like, whatever. When you're sad or depressed, you go to bed at 10 p.m. sometimes. And then I thought I slept a whole night. I woke up and I was like, it must be like 5 a.m., maybe 4:30. But, like, I felt like I had slept, like, a night. And then woke up extra early in the morning because I went to bed extra early or late at night. No, I woke up at 1:30, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And I laid there for a bit and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get up and be really productive. Thinking like, it must be like 4:30, maybe 5 a.m. I come out here, it's 1:30. And I realize, regardless of the time, it's morning for me right now. For some, yeah. So I got up and had a bunch of coffee and now it's 4 a.m. I got my hair done. Look how good that shit looks. And I'm watching Judge Judy and now I feel like I can tackle the to-do list that has been breathing over my neck with some very serious tasks on it. It's funny for me when I take Vyvanse. It's like it almost removes the shame I feel about the ADHD and the struggles I have with completing tasks or, it makes me go, oh, okay, well, this just needs to get done. And then as I do them, my confidence and my self-esteem grows. You forget that part. It's the doing the tasks that makes you feel better about yourself, not necessarily the ADHD medicine for me. Yeah, I'm just sitting here like, and I set up this whole little office on the floor. Look at cute. What? Let me see if I can get this camera down here. Come down here. Come on, little camera. Yeah, he's moving, but I'm on the floor. And I have my little club chair behind me because my back hurts. And I always try to think about all the different obstacles that are in my way of being productive because I am too quick to grab an excuse. I know that about myself. People say I'm too hard on myself. I don't think I'm hard enough. See, when you're a smart cookie like me, you can actually outsmart yourself. Like I can really come up with like a few good logical reasons not to do something or something. Or like a good reason like you deserve the day to yourself, girl, because trauma. You know what I mean? Like I'm the first person to be like, get the fuck up, lazy bitch. Harsh, maybe. What I need? Definitely. If I don't have anyone in my life to say it to me, I say it to myself. But the shame that comes with that. So anyway, when I take Vyvanse, that part of my personality kicks in. It's like, get up, who cares? Just get it done and you'll feel better. It's like when you're depressed and you just want to lay there and a friend says, get up and go exercise. And that is the opposite of where you're at when you're in that mode, sad. And you don't even have the energy to breathe because you're so sad or depressed. Or at least I am when I'm like that. And a friend comes in, That is the friend we hate the most at that moment, is the person that's just like, get up, come on. No, I don't want to hear your excuses. I get it. You have feelings and they're valid, but get up anyway. So when I can't be that cheerleader for myself, and I don't have anyone in my life that does that for me, well, I do have a really good friend now that is just a ball buster for getting me to be motivated and supporting me. And you know who you are, Grebo. Yeah, so anyway, I got my Vyvanse, and when I take Vyvanse, man, all of a sudden, like, the tumblers fall into place. I'm sitting here, got my hair blown out, because I have this theory that if I can be camera ready every day by a certain time, then I will vlog more, because I'll be more likely to just turn on the camera and live my life. Go on Twitch, go on YouTube, do intros and outros to videos that I have queued up. Like, everything that I'm slacking on, believe it or not, is tied to my image. You know, and nobody wants to turn on the camera when you feel like shit, look like shit, right? Especially me. So, you know, there are many nights when I'm like, oh, I should Twitch. I'm scared of Twitch, by the way. Very scared. Not scared of Twitch. I'm scared of Streamlabs. SOS, help. I need serious help with Streamlabs. I mean, I've tried to figure out the overlays, and I even paid for the whole like better version so that you can have more overlays, and I can't even figure them out anyway. Help. But anyway, so I'm rambling obviously because I've had a pot of coffee and I'm watching Judge Judy, which always amps me up. I can hear myself rambling, but the thing is, when, you know, the coffee and the Vyvanse kicks in, all of a sudden that to-do list is just my bitch. So I'm hoping like today is the day. Today is the day for everything. Because if I actually just start getting some stuff done, that'll make me feel better and want to do more stuff. And I'm hoping that I can have such a productive day today that I can schedule out content on all my platforms. Maybe play some drums. They just sit there mocking me, all pretty with their flowers. My elliptical, I've been moving that thing around the house, hoping it would be inspiring to make me want to exercise on it, and it just sits there. There's so many things that I'm just not doing. And that reminds me of someone that I definitely don't like on the internet. And so once I start seeing parallels between me and the, you know, lady clown, you know, once I see that we both have tasks that are similar and both of us are not doing them, oh my God, it really makes me give my head a shake and go, you need to fix that, because you don't want to have anything in common with this one when it comes to behavior or skill use. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah, I kind of turned on the camera suddenly. I didn't even plug in my microphone, or so I hope the sound is good on this. This is just a video before my videos. I have so many videos in my editor that are 75% finished. Like, too many. What is this anxiety about pushing out a video? For me, I don't speak unless I know the words that are coming out of my mouth are from a healthy place, if possible. So I try not to respond immediately. I try to let things play out and see how they go. And when it comes to posting videos, I don't just put out content. I'm not saying my content's amazing. It's like, oh, when I put it out, it's a masterpiece. I mean, I can't really just throw something together, meaning it could be a good video, but I feel this way now. I need it to sit in my editor for a day or two and then come back to it and go, oh, okay, I'm going to take this out. I'm going to do this or whatever, because I like whatever I put on the internet to be something I can always back up or stand behind years from now. even if it's like a petty rant or something. So it's important for me not to put out content too often, because then I will start getting all like, ooh, all these views. Oh, the more the better when it comes to the views. But I'm afraid that I'll fall victim to the greed. The greed. And then my content will start to suffer, because I will put out content more because I need to put out content, as opposed to this is what I want to say to the internet and to the world. And that's just my philosophy. That to me is the payoff for putting yourself out on YouTube and like inviting haters into your world, because you really are when you put yourself out there, especially with your face. And I stand behind it, man. That's the thing. I don't hide behind anything anymore, because all filters of any kind at this point only sabotage my efforts to be authentic and real and own my shit. So, having padding or training wheels isn't, no. If I say it, I mean it. And if I need to apologize for it, I will, but I'm just going to say it anyway, because life's too short not to say what's on your mind. And that's me. But if I'm going to have that philosophy, I have to make sure that when I do say something that's on my mind, it's well thought out and it's run through a few different filters that my prior therapist, Yuko, would tell me to do. Because in my world, I have a guru, a person that I just, to me, it's like the ultimate. When I think of my old therapist, Yuko, she was just this amazing lady. She was so great. And she was perfect to work with someone like me who was neurodivergent. I'm surprised she didn't realize that, or maybe she did, but the borderline was like very prominent. But she appealed to me in that way. Everything was visual with her, and she would always spray orange concentrate, like oil, into the air before I would walk into her office. And I always wondered why she did that. I just thought her office smelled like oranges. And then I realized when I saw the spray that she just sprays it before I come in, because of, I don't know. I'm not like where she's at, why she understands the connection between, smell and relaxing. But it always put me into a state of openness. And to this day, when I smell like fresh, like orange scent in the air like that, it immediately makes me feel joyful and light. Because, man, I'd walk out of that office physically lighter. I would leave a puddle of problems on her floor. Oh, I miss her. The one thing about graduating from the dialectical behavioral therapy program, it's a long program, and there's a long taper off period. Like with medication, you come down slowly. You don't want to shock the system type deal. And that's what happens when you end therapy with someone who's borderline, right? Because a lot of the issues with borderline is being codependent sometimes. Is having no closeness or a safe place for yourself, so you develop these defense mechanisms, which creates the borderline. But then you meet someone that actually helps you tear down those walls. It's the safest person you'll be around, especially if you don't have family. So it can be very delicate for someone with borderline personality disorder to say goodbye to that person. And so since I can't speak with my former therapist, because it's good, they have this boundary. Once you leave, you can't contact me, which is super great test of boundaries. But it's very, very difficult because you miss your friend. I think of Yuko every day, every single day, because she was the one person that like I could just let it all hang out, you know? and get that validation. But it was like the healthiest relationship I've ever had when it comes to flowing of energy and letting down of walls. So I feel comfort knowing she's in the city here somewhere, just living her life, being happy. But I do miss her. But anyway, when I think about my behavior, I run it through a few filters. Here are the filters. I run it through the Yuko filter, my therapist. I run it through the Judge Judy therapist filter. I run it through my therapist filter. I run it through my Judge Judy filter. And I run it through my the dude filter. And then I run it through His Holiness the Dalai Lama's filter. And these are my filters. Boom, 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 boom. And to me, that's the way to go. You need to have not only a filter, but multiple filters that have different viewpoints. And that's kind of how I think about it. Because one is a therapist, and you got to trust what they say about healthy versus unhealthy behavior, thoughts, and patterns. So it's good to run what you think and say and do through that filter. What would they say if they saw you do it? And then the Judge Judy filter. Common sense. Are you just making it worse? Are you part of the problem? Are you pointing the finger? Is this really all, Are you part of this? Because you probably are. And then the dude, chill, Lebowski energy, it's all good. Careful, there's a beverage here, And then the Dalai Lama. His Holiness is the final filter for me because he is like the dude times a million. He's just the most mindful person I think exists in this world. If you've ever seen videos of His Holiness, he's so happy. Like, not even happy because that's a judgment, believe it or not, on my behalf. Judgments can be positive because I don't know that he's happy. But he appears very joyful. He's childlike. He likes to play jokes on people and play with their ponytails and stuff. He doesn't take anything seriously, and I get it. It's different for him because he's the Holiness, but he's the Holiness for a reason. So I look to him to see what really matters in this world. Because our biggest problem, I think, as humans, is our ego. I am so important. I deserve this. And there's a really fine line, especially for someone like me who's recovering from trauma and a personality disorder, which stems from lack of self-love and self-worth. So you have this task of building yourself up and trying not to feel bad about it because of I'm just I think I'm so amazing. But celebrating your wins with a personality disorder is very hard because you don't know how to do that. Like in a healthy way, that is. But then in Buddhism, it teaches you or it doesn't teach you, it shows you what life can be like if you check that ego and you connect in a different way with people and yourself. So something I found interesting one time was I was at the temple and the monk asked if anyone had any questions. And I said, yes, exactly what I was just talking about. I said, how do you balance mental health recovery with the building of self-love and self-worth with the part of us that needs to tear the ego down? And he looked at me And he didn't say anything for a minute, and then he goes, I don't know. And then he just kind of moved on. He was just like, any other questions? Like, he did not have even, well, I don't know what he was thinking, but at first I was taken back, almost offended. Like, he didn't try to answer my question. But then, after some time, a lot of time, to really think about the perspective of it, he didn't know, so he said so. And I think that level of honesty is jarring sometimes for us. You know, he's like, I don't know. I saw the Dalai Lama say the same thing in an interview. He just said, I don't know. And he was like, totally content with, I don't know. It doesn't make me stupid. It doesn't make me anything. I just don't know. I'm not going to try to come up with an answer for you. Blew my hair back. I was like, respect. The thing is, I enjoyed that he said, I don't know, and then didn't follow it up with like a reason or that he would look into it. Just so simple. No filler. Filler energy. That's a thing. Chantel, Foodie Beauty, has filler energy where her camera's on all the time and she does this dancing clown thing where she knows she's live. So she's just like, yeah. Like, the thing is, all the facial expressions, all the whatever it is she does, it's also non-authentic to me because they say that if people know they're being recorded, they never act naturally. And I mean, she is a really good example of that. Because if this is what she's like on camera, imagine what she's like when she's not. Anyway, there's a fucking mouse chewing up something in my house. I gotta go get it. Okay. Boy.